So guys, this video is going to shock you as Igbo women leader dare the Nigerian military that they are the cause of insecurity in the southeast. That before the military was deployed to the southeast, that the level of insecurity witnessed today in the southeast wasn't there. But because of military presence, it has emboldened criminals to do what they are doing today. And the military is helping them by concentrating on the roadblocks and not the actual security job they were asked or sent to do. In case you don't know, there was this headline that says, in a month, that the Nigerian military roadblocks, they made like 21 billion naira in the south, is collecting money from people. So guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at this video. I'll be right back. Take a look.
When this insecurity was too much in the southeast, I'm based in Lagos. For our group, we have different departments and we have media departments. So we decided to come and cover it and to find out what is actually happening. But when we came around to cover the insecurity, we discovered that 90%, I'm sorry to say, of the insecurity in the southeast was caused by the military. I won't apologize for saying it because they would have shot me at Osumuhu that time. So when we came, and on Monday, we decided to cover the sit-at-home proper. So when I have my driver, I have my car, so I moved with my driver. So when we came to Olo, that near Banana Junction, we discovered that place was, closed up by the military. So I had to come down because I have a newspaper outfit. So I have my ID card. So I approached the militaries. Even when they saw me approaching them, they were like even their faces. And I greeted them and I said, "Oga, why did you block Drew?" I said, "Who are you to ask all that question, without the harassment?" And I showed them my card. I said, "Unfortunately, I'm a media person and we are here to cover the sit-at-home because we realized that you said IPOP is sit-at-home and they're enforcing sit-at-home. But with the look of things, you are the one enforcing the sit-at-home because I know that before you came, there was nothing like this insecurity. Let's be honest to ourselves. Before the militaries were moved to Southeast, we didn't have it this bad. So you were brought here to relax the sit-at-home. Not that there were clashes within the sit-at-home, but for you to relax it so that people will start coming out. Now that you are blocking the road, it's like you are helping to now enforce the sit-at-home. So when I now flashed my car, they now ran inside. So out of anger, I moved those things on the road. And then I drove past. I covered the whole of Southeast. When you approach their checking point, they look more deadly than any criminal, even armed robbers you meet on the road. The way they approach, the way they harass.
Hiya, thank you very much, Mr. Ben. Please permit me to stand on a existing protocol. My name is Ugochi Agalava Ehiahurike, the Executive Director for Social and Integral Development Center, CIDEG, based here in Anambra State. I'll be sharing my personal experience. Professor Ribodo from Asia also shared part of the things I will also share how it affected me as an individual. That was last 2 years. I was traveling for August meeting. You understand August meeting. I believe our brothers and sisters also understand. So I was going. In fact, I was praying. It was at Opo River that I started praying. So when I was praying, I didn't observe that the actor to stop me before they commenced the events was stopping me. Because I was praying, I wasn't paying attention. So by the time I saw the young man with the gun, I was already very close. But because I didn't see him on time, I didn't turn back. But I've had a security training that even when you turn back, you still meet some squad behind. If you also move forward, you will still meet some security squad. Some of those are top squad. So what I did was to move. So because I did not stop, the young man targeted my 2 tires. And it was a tubeless tire. So he punctured the two. The two of them got open. I zoomed. As I was driving, I now saw more than 20 of them, fully armed. They were now pointing their guns on my face. I was like, do not kill your sister. Do not kill your sister. That was what I was shouting. Please do not kill me. So those ones were just looking at me, but they were pointing at me. But I was, and my leg was also throttling. So when I was now climbing that Osumohu hill, one woman now called my attention. I had to drive in and park. So when I now parked, the woman was like, when they had gunshot, they were like, Kai, they've killed this one. So seeing me, they were now surprised. Does it mean that they did not they weren't able to target you correctly or what? What actually happened? I said, I begged them not to kill me. So the woman now was like, you took risk. Don't you know that we've not been assessing? People have, in fact, you're lucky. 30 minutes ago, they've been shooting themselves with the soldiers there. You're just lucky. And I saw some burned individuals that were unable to escape.
Stopping what? Start from there. Go and dislodge them. Let me know that you are serious. That's what I think. Every time. Yeah, marching order. Security. How many times have Tinubu had a meeting with this security team? How many times since he came into office? What came out of it? Nothing. Mr. Okoro and Moses, nothing. So tomorrow, another meeting will come. Like they don't know the problem. And if you don't know the problem, why are you talking about solving it? If they don't know, then they should leave it and stop deceiving. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm a bit concerned that our president is trying to trade blames. He's trying to
say it's not the governors.
He's trying to absolve himself of the responsibility of taking action against these people.
Don't mind.
He was governor before. He served as governor. What openings did he have, as the chief security officer of the state? Probably he was lucky that there was a sense of quietude here in Lagos. In the present day, what can a governor do in terms of security? We are told that the governor is the chief security officer of the state. Yeah, this same governor cannot call the state police commission and say, please do this, and he does it. He doesn't have control over the DG of the state director of the SSS.
Or the military.
Or the military, any of those military commands in his state. He doesn't clearly have control over them. So that is why most times they go out of their way to appease these people.
Exactly.
They buy hillocks for them, buy vehicles, donate money and all of that. Yet in the nick of time, these people become answerable, always answerable to the center. I keep going back to what happened in Enugu State, in Ukpa-Binimbo, where they got information that, look, there was going to be reprisal attacks in that community. The police was informed, the police were informed, and the police said, no, look. And days after that, there was an onslaught. People were killed. And in the process, the governor there, Nifan Uguanyi, called on the state police commission to get clearance. And when he got to Abuja, he got stuck. It took the governor to put a call to the presidency. And he was kept on hold.
This is a record.
For more than 4 hours.
As if they don't know what is going on.
And in that mix, the man was... Hours after that, policemen went to their community to start arresting indigenes of that community who had run away and were coming back after the massacre. They arrested them. The governor do, and we have a president who stays in faraway France and tells Muftuan, I need you to take decisive political action. In what sense?
Okay, talking about what the president's accusation of the governors, a lot of it is hinged on the fact that security vote goes to them. They take security votes. Yes, they do. They take security votes.
Let Moses land.
But then we have a situation as put out there by Daniel Bwala. I don't know if you really believe his words, but anything to go by, he did say that they have a situation whereby the state governors give the police million, give this military 20 million, and they have 1 billion and they keep the rest. As published by the Punch newspaper, Bwala in that interview says, we are finding very sadly, what we are finding very sadly is that there are some states where the governors give 20 million naira to the SSS, 20 million naira to the police, and 20 million naira to the army as monthly allocation for fighting insecurity. And you hear their security vote is between 1 billion naira to 2 billion naira and 3 billion naira. All right, all of this. All of this. If this is anything to go by, then
you see the thing about security.
Okay. Please, when Ebola was saying, did he say how much Tinubu collects for security votes? He was just talking of governors. Let me tell you the truth about these security votes. It is not official. I hope you know.
I was coming to that.
It was never official because the governor have no control over this police, the DSS and army. It's just a token to encourage them. That money is for personal use of the governor, and it is never official. It's like
it's not accounted for.
Yes, it's like a peck
no legislature can
exactly, it's like a peck of office. That man uses it to take care of his personal whatever, like consulting the gods, sending boys to go and find that thing. His own personal informant and all. These are what it's all about. Police or army, if they are doing all those, it was out of their own free will. It is.
It's that the president.
No, the president cannot do it.
Exactly, he cannot do that.
The one he says, what does it?
He
See, the security board is more like it's slush fund.
Abi? He
Slush
cannot
fund,
do
special
that.
purpose fund, you know.
Yes.
They just take it, use it to influence other things around. Like I said, buy Hilux vans. And you know one funny thing? Some of the times when they take this, in fact, it is pocket money for them.
Exactly.
Because they go to the budget and say, for security, they earmark a certain amount of money. From there, they use it to buy Hilux buses, Hilux for these security agencies. And they come around. It is from that security vote that they say, okay, this traditional ruler, please maintain peace in your community. Take 5 million naira.
Exactly.
And they have a list of people that every month they pay a certain amount of money for them to, to maintain stability. That is not official. To maintain stability in that state. And so that security fund is to create balance, some form of stability, between the stakeholders. Because some of these stakeholders are also powerful enough to cause problems.
Exactly.
So I find it disturbing that the president, if he says, why is he pushing the idea of state police? Because Obey Mibamidele told us that, look, they are already drafting, they're making a draft, of the police, state police in the National Assembly, probably in the Senate. So in days in the coming months, we might see a bill before on the floor of the National Assembly saying, look, state police. We understand that 6 state governors have already given their approval, for state police. So when the bill eventually gets to the National Assembly, of course, they are going to pass it. So at that point, we now start operating state police. It is on that premise that you can now hold the governor to account if there is insecurity in your domain.
State. Exactly. I'll even ask the police chief there, why is this thing happening? Nobody will call him from a or something will happen in Southwest here. People and take them to Abuja.
But it doesn't rule out the fact that there will still be
federal police. Of course,
there will be a federal police.
Maybe we are looking at something like the FBI in US, where you have FBI and other police,
other state police and the metro police and the council police and all of that.
So, but problem on ground before we now. This state police, because it's not a day job. I don't know that. There are so many things involved.
No, but it's a good starting point.
But what I'm saying, before we get to where it will become operational, what is the president doing as the commander-in-chief? Are you telling me today that if Tinubu should make an announcement and say, look, every foreign terrorist in Nigeria, you are given 24 hours to leave Nigeria or else? You mean it will not have effect?
How will it have effect, barrister?
What?
How will it have effect?
Taking over other people's home. You mean they will still be
Barrister,
there?
how do you identify who a Nigerian is?
Because they took other people's home. Let us start from there. This house you occupy, is it your own?
If you walk the streets of Kanu, Lagos, how do you identify a Nigerian?
Yeah. Said, let us start from these people who are occupying people's home.
Okay.
They cannot be from Nigeria because they came from somewhere. Let them go back to their homes. Start from. But that's even where the problem. They launched this attack from those places.
Barrister, do you think government plans to repatriate any of these individuals, seeing that just the other day, was it yesterday? Yes, I think it was yesterday. We talked about 390 repentant terrorists, de-radicalized, who have been, de-radicalized and want to be put out there. Out of those 390, a few of them are from Niger. A few of them are from Chad. They weren't sent to their countries when they were caught. Instead, Nigerian government
absorb them.
De-radicalized them, absorb them into the system, and now they're being given empowerment with bags of rice and other things. So, is it that Nigeria is home to all?
Good.
Sorry, I'm asking a question.
No, I understand. In that
not
I saw one
criminals.
person from Cross River State, one person from Akwa Ibom. You saw the list?
Yes.
And I was wondering.
One from, I think a few from Edo.
From Edo State.
Some from Ondo and the rest.
Terrorists.
Yes. They radicalized.
Are they sure these people are claiming to be coming from there? No, it sounds so funny.
That's a question. That's a question.
So why don't you see that's where to start. Begin to separate the wheat from the chaff. A government that but they are mixing everything up. You are saying Nigeria is home to all. No, not Nigeria has become home to terrorists. That's why they come in. They come in freely. The audacity to kill Nigerians. Can this type of nonsense happen in democracy? Can it ever happen? I mean, before you even venture, just write your will because you will not come back. America will not allow you to operate on their soil for 2 hours.
The most pathetic of people, when communities make effort to apprehend them and take them to the police station, in less than 2-3 hours, a call comes from somewhere,
yes, they would
and the person is let go.
You can imagine.
So how do you? So it's more like nothing deters them. There is no deterrence
because they have a backers. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly
These
the
backers.
point.
Yeah, these
and
backers.
so this issue of insecurity, terrorism, until you get to the root and take out the financiers, people that are financing them, because it's like when you strike the shepherd, the sheep will scatter.
So
until we get to the point, and we have a list. What have we done with that list?
Nothing.
A certain list was sent from UAE.
Yes,
during the regime of Muhammad Buhari.
He
sat on it and put it inside the drawer.
So why I told you that Tinubu cannot solve it, as long as they have not made effort to call these people to account, forget it. The governor they told to do something in Plateau, say, what will he do?
Some people allege it's an allegation that it was part of the deal that the president had with the North.
Of course. Is it not obvious? If you say it now, will anybody doubt you?
Because he does nothing. The only thing he does is to issue orders. Relocate to Zamfara. And after that, we don't get to hear anything more.
No, he will tell you that we are on top of we are going to get them. They will get maximum punishment, this and that. At the end of since this orgy killing has been going on. So that will tell you that there's an agreement.
After the killing, the governor came out to blame the people, the individuals, that they are the ones that caused the problem.
So you can imagine.
And you begin to wonder.
And that's the APC
what kind of pact is that?
APC state. So my brother, we're in a very deep mess. Seriously, very deep mess with this insecurity. I will have a government that is not even, because that's what you protect lands and property. Coming in 2027 to contest election again. That's why I keep asking the people, on what ground? On what ground? These lands that are lost now, if you check, if you begin to quantify it in numbers, we are talking of 3 or 4 people. We are talking of 3 or 4 with about 5,000 each. Because some villages, they are not up to 5,000 people in that village. Now, when you kill 15,000, clear out an entire 3 villages. Clear them out. Who will not take over from them? You wiped out an entire generation. And it's not as if you are ended though. Tomorrow again, you come again, move to the other village, do the same thing. Because no deterrent. No deterrent. So Tinubu, I don't know what he's doing. Let nobody come and tell me he's doing well. In what way? Life is the primary thing. Primary life.
All right, okay. Let's touch on a few other headlines here. UK records 22,000 Nigerian asylum seekers. That's one of the headlines. Now let's see if we can dig a little deeper into that particular story. We hear that the United Kingdom Home Office received about 22,619 asylum applications from Nigerian nationals from 2010 up until 2024, according to findings. And this is as Nigerians accounted for 1 in 30 UK asylum claims over the period, ranking 11th on the Home Office released year-end asylum and resettlement statistics. And, well, I think the story goes on and on. Some of the countries also topped the chart of asylum seekers, Iran, and the rest. But they are being a lot more cautious with issuing asylum to asylum seekers from Nigeria, because they've come to understand that a lot of them are not real. Now, for you to get asylum, you have to prove that there is threat to your life. Government, maybe based on your political leanings or your social
terrorists.
Yeah, well, or your social associations. So some Nigerians just take advantage and say, okay, the government is against me because of my political affiliations and my political ideologies, and they run to the UK. Some of it have been proven not to be true.
You remember?
Some have also, sought asylum on the grounds that their social relationship is against the Nigerian government is against their social lifestyle. Some homosexuals, gay, and the rest of them have sought asylum under that guise. But some of them, it's been proven that it's not true. They just, seek asylum from other country, and so they are beginning to reject these. But really, anyway, I don't want to pose a question here.
You remember the woman who was denied the visa, but when they claimed to be an IPOB member,
yes,
they quickly gave him visa. So could you remember that story?
On top of my head, I can't.
Good. You remember that story? The woman said that look, and they know the issue with IPOB and the federal government of Nigeria. So when there are genuine claims, they should look at it. The only thing I think the government of UK is where to take them to, because the deal with Rwanda, I think it has collapsed with 123 rebels. That deal has collapsed. They are withdrawn from it. So where to take them to is what they are afraid of. And that's what they are cautious about. Because if you check, other nations are equally coming. So if you put all this together, the UK government, they don't have resources to take care of these people. The major reason why they left EU, they cannot say EU people should leave, and then they start bringing people from outside Europe into their country. They cannot afford that. It's just that they don't want to tell you the truth. The truth is that these people are coming to become economic nuisance in UK. Nothing else. That is just the truth. So,
okay, Barrister, I don't know, would have already said the truth. But the thing is that if you examine it globally, I think the contours or the face of immigration is gradually changing. It's dynamic, it's ever changing. And at the time, America threw its doors open, to people from all parts of the world.
Visa lottery.
Through visa lottery, even before the visa lottery, United States of America, you could stay there for like 20, 30, 40 years. It will accost you on the way. But that has changed now. Trump is going to kick down doors, you know, pull people out from their homes and putting them in the airplane.
He said they are eating their cats.
Them back. He thinks that is happening. I think 22.
But it's a long time.
A long time.
He said 2010.
All of them are still there.
The applications received.
You have to apply.
No, you
be there to apply.
You can apply from anywhere.
No, you have to be there to apply. You have to be there so they will assess you.
So that's a lot. And they are also being careful. White Europe, you know, clearly is trying to also close their doors, even against Europeans. Look at what Hungary did to people that were coming in from parts of Middle East during the crisis, the Yemen crisis, and which other crisis again? You know, during the crisis in Yemen and parts of crisis in the Middle East. You know, that people had to flock to Germany, and Germany accepted a lot of people, probably to clean their face, you know, because people will still look at them with one eye, you know, after the Holocaust and all of that. So, in Canada, also restrictions.
But they are opening their doors now.
No, they are opening doors basically for skilled workers, you know.
People now.
Exactly. Because Japan doesn't have a youthful population.
At all.
So
they
also
give a holidays for the youth to go and reproduce.
Exactly, things like that. So in all of this, you discover that unfortunately, Africa seems to be the listening people now leave Africa to other parts of the world. Do we have?
Now, what are they coming?
Well, they are coming to Africa to
you know, our resources,
exploit our resources,
and all of that. Are we able to put them back?
Instead,
when they come here, they cause trouble for us so that they could have a free reign over our products, like what is happening in parts of Zamfara State, in parts of the north. We understand that a group of people fear this crisis so that they will have freedom, you know, have a free space to explore. I was surprised. I don't know if you saw that video.
They start by
something like a small airplane, you know, had to taxi, you know, in a hard ground, you know, and took off. And when they do, they land in one of the international airports in the north, transload and move out of this country. All of that. So that is the exploitation that Africa is going through.
It is when you have leaders, because check very well, this is very common with weak leaders. Like I don't see such a thing happening in Egypt or South Africa. Those ones, I don't think they'll take it.
You know why it can't happen in South Africa? Because South Africa was under the control of the white man for very long time.
Even up
and
to
they were
tomorrow,
able to set processes and institutions.
even up to tomorrow, the economy is in their hands.
Good.
What I'm not saying that these weak leaders.
But when you talk about Egypt is under whose leadership now? Does Egypt have a leadership?
They have. They have.
Under who?
A very strong leader.
Okay.
That was the man that stopped the brotherhood or whatever. The man that brought Mubarak to court on a stretcher. With
are you talking about Mohammed Morsi?
I think so. Is that the name?
Yes.
There was this Sisi before who transmitted from military to civilian. I don't know whether he had left. It should be Morsi.
Anyway, whatever is happening in Egypt, I know that such things can happen in a place like Rwanda under the watch of Paul Kagame.
But the man is messing up the good image he had built.
With these
M23 rebels.
I think he has overstayed.
And two, with what he's doing with the M23 rebels.
What is he doing?
He's the one funding them.
What is he trying to do?
Then the Western world have pulled out all the aid and all they are giving him and all
What is he trying to do? He's trying to protect the ethnic stock, ethnic Tutsis.
No, hold on. Let them come back to him. They can't be in another people's country and they are fomenting trouble there. And you say you are going to protect them. On what ground? No, it's not that.
Does he have space to keep them?
No. So why should they be causing trouble over there? You are protecting who? That is a subterfuge. That's not the real reason.
Okay, so why is
he want to take
so why is Putin in
Sorry?
why is
hope not to want to build the nuclear.
It's not so. It's because he wants to protect the ethnic Russians.
No.
Barrister, the underlying problem.
No. He said it that they don't want. He said that he doesn't want NATO to build that in there.
Before then, what did he do in Georgia?
That was the real issue.
Before then, what did he do in Georgia?
Let's move away from geo.
And go back to insecurity.
Let's go back to Nigeria. Not insecurity, but let's come back to Nigeria. How do you react to this headline here? I think it's on the Punch. I think I saw something like it elsewhere. Well, JACBA, federal government targets ghost workers in fresh payroll audit. It's not the first time federal government is doing its payroll, because Nigerians have continually, especially civil servants, have continually left the country without resigning from office. So they collect salaries continue to come. They did it before the commencement of the minimum wage. There was a flush of the payroll of most MDAs, but the figures seem to have spiked again because more people have left. Now, if civil servants are leaving in their droves like that, what does it portend for Nigeria? Because civil servants, they run the government basically.
They don't do anything.
No, they run the government. You don't say they don't do anything.
Civil servant.
Yes.
Moses, our civil service is bloated. You get to offices, you see nothing.
No,
Chatting away. They don't do anything. I tell you, I'm looking at them. I say, you people don't do nothing. You know why? Moses, I tell you, you go to federal government offices, you go to state government, in local government.
There might be more in number where some are doing the work while others, sit idly away.
No, that is the point.
The efficiency, if you compare, they are lacking it.
They are lacking. That is why I said
they are not efficient. And that is nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
If it's a private company, you can't come to work.
In Abuja. There are people that work in Abuja, they live in Enugu. They throttle at will into the FCT, show up in office. So at the end of the month, they are paid salary.
Exactly. You only show up on payday.
On payday. In local government, people don't even show up. At the end of the month, they just collect salary. I know people who are on local government payrolls. They are living outside this country. Yes.
The government is that way.
Those are the people.
The engine room of governance of government.
Do you
but
know
what do they do? Have you ever looked for? Moses, go and look for something in the federal civil service and see how easy it will be for you to get that thing.
Without dropping something.
Without dropping something.
That's the truth. Now
they should keep doing this verification until such a time that all. So, but if they are ghost workers, what it means is they are ghost jobs.
Not only ghost jobs, there are ghost.
There are ghost jobs, so they should employ the Nigerians who are unemployed. Unfortunately, the Nigerian who is unemployed, if he gets into the civil service, the system.
You have permanent secretary in all the ministries who should know about staff audit. This is going on. Who are you supposed to hold responsible? See, those people you are calling ghosts, whatever, their salary goes into one man's pocket too.
Okay.
At the end of the month, he collects all of them and pocket it and claim that
some of them actually get their salaries from wherever they are
because they
don't resign. Yes, and their accounts
they
operate.
Make a deal with the man there. So that the thing
because somebody must be covering them.
Well, let's look at this headline now. This is from the Vanguard newspaper. It says, killings. U.S. urged to redesignate Nigeria as country of particular concern. Now, the United States has been urged to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern, CPC, and subsequently place her on the U.S. watch list over the rising spate of killings by bandits and criminal headsmen. Gentlemen, this is where we are right now. Now, the call was made by a delegation of American veterans of Igbo descent, AVID, and Rising Sun, and ambassadors for self-defense during its recent Washington, D.C., where it met with some U.S. Congress members to lobby for the release of the incarcerated leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi, for the redesignation of Nigeria. Gentlemen,
no,
over to you.
I mean, is it not obvious? In fact, if they have even now and Christians of northern origin, it would have made more sense, because these are the people that are bearing the brunt. When you say, now it may look as if the killing is general. No, it's not general. To Christians in the northern region.
The killing is turning general. Though.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not general. A religious group and ethnic group. Go and check.
Are Muslims not killed in the north?
Well, how many
Muslims are killed as well?
Okay, by the way, who is killing them?
All those people in the are all of them Christians.
Who is killing them? Who is killing them?
That is a different question altogether.
So that is so. Have taken it upon themselves to wipe others out.
No, I think Avid also has been very active. This is not the first time.
Very, because they're US.
Yeah, because
if they were here, they would have arrested all of them.
And this is not the first time they are making this kind of effort, But my concern is, if they designate Nigeria as a country of particular concerns, essentially what will happen is that, look, if it takes up, if the reject their visa, don't allow them to come into United States.
Or even place sanction.
Travel ban.
Yes, travel ban on health grounds or whatever.
Economic sanction. This terrorism, arms embargo.
Forget do that.
Aid organizations as well.
Because I'm getting to somewhere. If they do that, what will happen is that if they don't go to the United States of America,
they can go elsewhere.
They can go elsewhere. They go to. In fact, their new Harvard now is even Asia. They go to Singapore, they go to Malaysia, they even go to Vietnam to invest their money there. Or if they don't go there, they can also go to the Virgin Islands, the Caribbean, and invest their money. So that doesn't look to me as a problem, as a solution to the problem. Because America is not directly going to intervene, because Nigeria is not clearly present. People went and I saw people to go Christians and all of his contemporaneous with Buhari. And what happened? 63,000 Nigerians killed in cold blood. What did Trump do? He didn't do anything. The only thing people do is they go and generate AI generate about Africa is going to do this and this and that. No. I even rely more on what we can do as a people. Because the evangelicals in the United States, whatever problems that were solved in South Sudan for the black Sudanese people was by the evangelicals, because they put pressure, on Capitol Hill, more like what Avid is doing now. So now the Capitol Hill, the Congress now took it up and pushed it to the state watch of Colin Powell. I have read the agreement, the CP, I have read it comprehensively. So it was under the watch of Colin Powell that they were able to get that referendum that said, look, we want to exit from the larger Sudan. And it was restricted to, up until this moment, in the Blue Nile of South Sudan, they also, the area that covered by the Darfur crisis, the Janjaweed and all of that, they are still under the thumb of the main Sudan, the Arab Sudan, and they are still crying. Because
why didn't they join with the Southern Sudan?
I don't know, because part of the agreement was that, look, after that, a referendum will also be conducted for them, but it never happened. It never happened, and they are still suffering
they were not
up until today.
They were not
so, in all of this, what Avid is doing, it is good. But I also hope that the United States Congress will go beyond Nigeria as a country of a particular concern. They should do more. Now, let me ask the question. In all of this, we have not been able to unravel what the USA did in Nigeria and other parts of the world. What Scott Perry said. You know how we papered over that thing? America issued a statement. The American ambassador to Nigeria denied, and that was all that we got from the US up until this moment. They have not been able to say, look, we did or we didn't.
Hold on, because that could not be completely true. Remember that some people went to court against it, especially those people working in those aid agencies.
Okay.
Yeah, they went to court against it and they challenged Trump to come and prove.
They challenged Trump.
Trump was the one spearheading this thing. Trump that said they should pull it down.
Okay.
Even if Trump did not say it, no matter what anybody says, it will not hold water. You know, it was selective, sort of. In that of, I think he left that of Nigeria. He did. It was selective.
He left what of Nigeria?
Yes.
They're still funding.
No, they are not.
Yes.
They are not.
They are not, Barrister.
No, I said limited funding.
Barrister, they are not.
No. They didn't pull out from Nigeria completely. Go and check. They didn't. Even Trump said it, that of aid that it did not, Nigeria. They have some, I don't know, they have this interest in Nigeria because of our population. Remember, people that are coming into America, most of them are Nigerians.
I don't have this information.
I said, I'm telling you now, go and check. It was not completely pulled out.
USA is still funding Nigeria.
I said limited funding. And then some of the staff, some of them went to court to challenge Donald Trump. Are you getting what I'm saying? So it's not as if Trump is not aware. Politics is something all over the world. If you have something that will bring down your opponent, and it is genuine, you can put it out there in the press. So Trump was trying to tell the whole world that Biden and his government were doing this type of illegality all over the country. And that was what to clean up his own image. You know, people cried out that, see, this is what America is doing and all that. And it happened under the Democrats. You and I know that. This happened under the Democrats. So you cannot say that such a thing, because Trump said it, therefore it is wrong. It is not wrong, go. In every smoke, there must be fire within. Go and check. There must be fire within. The activities of the CIA and other U.S. security services is known all over the world. It was CIA that promoted Osama bin Laden. They used him. It was CIA that promoted Saddam Hussein. They used him. At the end of the day, what happened? They still brought them down after using them.
All right, then. Well, let's touch on another headline now from the New Telegraph. The headline here says, China floods Nigeria with 4.7 trillion naira worth of goods in 2 months, as value of nation's export hits 2.99 trillion year on year. Now, going a little deeper into the story, we hear that within the first 2 months of the year, delivery of synthetic filaments, yarn, woven fabrics, telephones, woven other goods, 7 trillion naira. Synthetic filament yarn woven fabrics, telephones, light pure woven cotton, and other goods. 4.7 trillion naira. How to take that one again? And then that's approximately $3.03 billion from China. And other major exports were motor vehicles, and accessories, bathroom ceramics, various chemical polymer materials, and electrical transformers. Well, findings reveal that in January, $1.94 billion worth of imports were shipped to the ports in Nigeria. And this is according to Observatory Economy Center, OEC data. In another phase, some goods valued at 1.09 billion naira were ferried into the country in February 2025. The data noted that only 1 million goods Nigeria left Nigerian ports to China in February. So what do we have? We have 1.09 billion coming in, 1.09 billion dollars coming in, 169 million dollars going out. And then, there's this explanation about 2024 Nigeria-China export, trade, and the rest. So how do you react to this information?
It shows that, have you seen why your economy is going down? Yes, the Tinubu and the people are telling us that they are performing. When you bring in such amount of goods into your country, is it not your foreign exchange that you are taking out? Have you seen why the Naira will never stabilize? Never. I hope those people who are supporting this bad economy, they are reading all these things. Because it is from this that you know the health of your economy. There is no magic about it. There is no magic. By the time you go to Europe and Asia and other nations, you will now know why the Naira can never stabilize. Meanwhile, the companies that are supposed to produce these things have closed down in Nigeria. That is, use that money to empower these companies to open shop. And start producing these things here. To let the economy. Rather, 7.2 million businesses have shut down in Nigeria. 7.2. Can you imagine the amount of job that is being lost here? And you are bringing in all these things. The economy grow. How? Those talking of Mr. Strategy and all that. So this is part of the strategy to close down your company and import things into Nigeria. It's a very big shame. I hope they are reading all these things this morning. Those supporting Tinubu and his economic policy, I hope they are reading all these things. And that's what we are talking about. They are only interested in politics, how to win election, how to win the whole Nigeria. The real thing, nobody is talking about it. And you want me to listen to them when they are talking. Look at what we are talking about here. China is smiling to the bank with our money. A country of 1.4 billion, taking care of their people. How many Chinese do you see begging in the street all over the world? How many Chinese do you even see trying to cross the Mediterranean to go to any place? With their population, yet you, just 200 million, and you cannot take care of anybody. Your own is just to win election. Cornering everything, so compromising everything. All our institutions, nothing is working. In fact, it's so sad. This figure should, anybody that loves Nigeria should be angry with this figure. Yeah, they are telling you the economy is working. The economy is Tinubu is working. Tell me what's working. Nobody will tell you.
So guys, you have seen what is happening in Nigeria. I love the fact that these
indeed.
What are you telling me?
women are very bold and vocal,
what are you telling me?
and you
This
could
is not
see
for
the
China.
audacity
This is not for China.
of this
By the time
woman
you go to
leader.
other one, you saw how much you are losing to other countries.
Calling out the Nigerian military that
Not leadership.
they are the problem
who don't
in
know
the
what to do.
southeast. The southeast has not experienced this level of
Scary.
insecurity
Like,
before
when
the
you
military
read-
was
when you
sent
read that
down
figure,
to come help in fight insecurity.
the
But
first thing that came
what
to
is
my
happening
mind
in the southeast is just that the military came there to use that opportunity to enrich themselves. What we have there is more of roadblocks. And when Musa was asked, Musa said that the southeast has more tendency of attacks. That's why they have more roadblocks, and we all know what passengers go through on that road. Sometimes when there are places you get to, they will say everybody should come down. You walk on barefoot to a certain point before you enter your vehicle and begin to go. There's been a whole lot of humiliation when it comes to the actions of the Nigerian military in the southeast, and people are wondering, why is it that we have a particular place reserved for Boko Haram known as Zambiza Forest that the Nigerian military has not been able to invade? They've not been able to invade. Like, that this place is a den of these terrorists and you refuse to invade it. Then from there they come out, they launch attack on the Nigerian nation, they go back, and later you tell us that you've granted them pardon. There are a lot of stories, that happen in this country that makes one to just wonder if is that we are enjoying the insecurity we have in Nigeria. Because, see, from the look of things, it appears people are really enjoying this insecurity. People have always argued that this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So, if insecurity comes to an end, some people will be losing. And because they don't want to lose, they are enjoying the fight because people make a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. During the time of Buhari, he arrested some people that they squandered the money that was meant to fight insecurity. and later Buhari left them. You know, when Buhari started going into politics, he told us he came to fighting corruption, but at the end of the day, corruption under Buhari became more, because he now left corruption to focus on politics, began to pardon people, and APC, like we know, they always tell us that if you join the APC, your sins will be forgiven. That was the new trend. So when you look at the whole thing happening in Nigeria, sometimes you begin to wonder if Nigeria will ever come out from this mess. Looking at it, that people are enjoying it. Take a look at what is happening in the north, where we've seen Christians being fired. Not just Christians, the attacks on the Fulanis and other terror groups. You hardly see a northerner coming out to condemn it, as if these people's lives don't matter. I mean, there is this video of a lady who said a boy lost his entire family during an attack in a church. I mean, his entire family that went to church, all of them were attacked, that this boy was crying. Everybody was spied. I mean, like waking up to know that father, mother, brother, sister, everybody was gone. You know what that means. And that's what we are seeing in Nigeria today, honestly. I won't just keep wondering, when will this insecurity come to an end? You know, looking at the way it is being fought, there is no neutrality. Some people are taking sides, you know, because they are northerners. You don't see the northern elites come out to condemn. You don't see northern politicians, even northern clerics. You don't see them condemning the most recent attacks we've seen in the north. You hardly see these people condemn it. I won't just keep wondering why the pleasure in all this. But when we saw that hunters, like the people who said they were hunters, they were killed in Urumi, what happened? The northerners had press conference. They will not take it. The life of northerners matter. They must parade the killers. And you know what? The governor of Edo State quickly arrested 14 of his people and sent them to Abuja. Today, look at what is happening. Fulani everywhere, buying people. None of them is prosecuted. Just show me one Fulani man that has been prosecuted in this country, despite the speed of killing. And most times they come out to take responsibility. They will tell you, yes, they died because their cows were killed, because their cows were taken because of this or that, or their members was killed and all that. And nobody is being held accountable. Nobody is being held responsible for all this. So you don't need to even wonder why things are not working in this country. We have a country that does not think about its people, especially the leaders. Because tell me why northern politicians are not condemning the killing by the Fulanis. Tell me why northern politicians are not coming up to speak out. Even Sultan came out to say that those killing are unknown. I mean, those killing in Plateau and other places are unknown. Can you imagine? When it is clear to everybody that these are Fulanis, he's trying to shield his own people over the Nigerian people. So the whole thing is just mixed up. I mean, it's really mixed up, and it's really so pathetic that we are here at this point. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.